Following the end of lockdown, new research has shown that 42% of disabled public transport users feel cautious about using the network, and a fifth have said that others on public transport make no effort to help them. To combat this, influencers, disability charities and transport operators have joined forces with the Department for Transport to call on passengers to rethink their habits. Daniel Jones has used his personal experience of having autism to raise awareness through a podcast and his YouTube channel, and he's here now to tell us more. Thank you so much for joining me, Daniel. First of all, would you mind just telling me how the pandemic has affected the way you feel about using public transport?
Yeah, certainly. You know, you think about autism, autistic people really like routines and structure to their day. And so when you get used to a certain type of public transport rules and regulations, then that's something that's comfortable. But the pandemic has shown that we now have new rules that are changing constantly, rapidly, and there's so much going on that's so confusing, let alone being on public transport with an autism spectrum condition gives you sensory overload, social communication issues, and a bunch of other anxieties. And
do you think that people with disabilities have a harder time getting the help they need with the current restrictions?
I think, definitely at the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of disabled people said that people with disabilities felt like they were left out a bit. They were kind of, just put to the side, everything else took precedent. And so that feeling made it more difficult for people to even want to go onto public transport. So there has been an amount of difficulties for people with disabilities and variant disabilities, let alone hidden disabilities like autism, right, to find confidence to use public transport at the best of times, especially during COVID.
And what do you want to see changed, particularly here in London?
I think it's more to do with the other passengers because, it's them who will make the difference here, as well as the staff obviously using the public transport. But the passengers just having a little bit more patience, understanding that somebody may be going through something, may not have a physical disability, but they may also just be disabled. So you just have to just allow people, non-judgmental, offer support, maybe offering a seat when needed, or just even understanding that somebody may not want to talk back because they may have social communication issues, just to help lower that anxiety for the people travelling.
And obviously, yes, the passengers can make changes, but what structurally do you want to see change? What can the people running these networks do to make things better?
I think one of the main ones is offering support directly. So if you see somebody having difficulties or even wearing a sunflower lanyard that displays that they may have a non-physical disability but still be disabled, is offering assistance straight away and offering kind of some consistent structure to the rules and regulations to follow. I think that would be probably one of the main ones. And then trying to accommodate that, maybe that offering up some spare seats in first class where it's a bit quieter, or even the quiet carriages may actually help.
On to the weather now, and it's good news. The spring weather we've been waiting for is finally on its way, staying bright this evening with average temperatures of 10 degrees overnight into a clear day tomorrow. Some cloudy spells, but top temperatures of 17 degrees. Looking ahead to Thursday, we can expect more of the same, with highs of 20 degrees predicted. The sunshine is finally on its way. To sport now, and England manager Gareth Southgate has said that they shouldn't have any fear, saying that they want to go and win the tournament. Expectations on the Three Lions are higher than in 2018.